42% of all the homes sold by Open Door in August of 2022 sold for a loss. And in the Phoenix real estate market, we experienced a lot of home price appreciation loss because of the iBuyer. In fact, 3 out of 4 homes sold by these iBuyers sold in the Phoenix area for a loss. Open Door blames its current struggles on the most rapid change in residential real estate fundamentals in 40 years. It is a change that is hitting Open Door and its competitors really hard right now. See, these companies use algorithmic pricing, which they claim gives them very accurate information to offer sellers below market average pricing to get their home sold quickly. And over the past about a year and a half, these companies were doing anything and everything in their power to win at buying these homes. They were offering sellers a free weekend in a hotel. It was usually the first weekend the house went on the market. They would pay to deep clean the seller's house before the house went on the market. They would even pay for these sellers to move. Then they would flip the house for a profit. That was the plan anyway, and it worked for a little while. When the market began to swing, the iBuyers, well, the smart ones anyway, realized that this business model was not sustainable. And Zillow got out first, but not before losing $660 million. And while this was happening, Open Door just kept buying property and at above market pricing. Now, the other big player in this market was OfferPad, but they've always been a lot more conservative. However, that conservative stance did not save them from losing money. Whichever way you slice it, iBuyers are vulnerable to swings in the market. So when the market moves a little, the iBuyers feel it a lot. See, Open Door's algorithm is not smart enough to know that they need to stop overbidding on these homes that are dropping in value. And this is how many of these iBuyers got themselves into this situation. As the market was changing, they just kept believing their algorithm. What's interesting about this is back in February, 4 months after Zillow pulled the plug on their iBuying program because they couldn't make it work, Ian Wong, Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Open Door, said his company was less exposed to wider issues in the housing market because it didn't rely heavily on the automated valuation model or pricing homes through AI. I think looking back on this, we can all agree this was incorrect. Even though these iBuyers have the data to know how many people are touring a home on any specific day, or the average number of tours per home before a sale, they also know how many offers each home gets every day. This and so many other data points gives these iBuyers an unprecedented viewpoint on the market. Yet they are still overpaying for homes, which are now ending up as losses for the company. Mike Delpre, an iBuying market analyst and scholar in residence at the University of Colorado Boulder, said this: right now, they are trying to sell as much of their inventory as fast as humanly possible. One possible narrative is that based on the data Open Door sees, the company believes things might get even worse. I believe they got caught with too much inventory that they overpaid for, and now they are doing anything and everything to get this sold. They really believed that they knew more than the real estate market was showing. I know I was talking about what these iBuyers were paying for some of these homes way before the market ever shifted. It was way too much for these homes. I saw the writing on the walls, and now they are paying the price for this. Okay, I wanted to come in here and show you overall where we are seeing all of these losses that I've been talking about for these Open Door sales. So this is showing you flip sales, but if you see over here, you can see this includes Open Door. So this is only Open Door homes that are being sold for a loss. They are all over the valley. There is no just one place that they purchased, and there's just not one place where they're actually losing money. They are losing money across the board on just about every one of their home purchases in the valley. And like I said earlier, I wanted to show you kind of as a contrast, this is OfferPad. This is only OfferPad, and you can see how much less of the loss that they are actually incurring on the homes that they purchase. Remember what I said earlier, they're a lot more conservative with their home purchases. Therefore, they are not losing as much. They also didn't buy quite as many homes as Open Door did, but they are still losing some money on some of their homes. Okay, so I wanted to take you into MLS because everybody always says, okay, well, they're losing money, great, but how much are they losing? So I pulled a couple that I wanted to just share with you. So this house actually sold for $437,100. Down here, we can see the house was on the market for 110 days. It was originally on the market for $550,000 and it sold for $437,000. Here's what I want to show you because we've talked about this before. Seller concessions. They offered $1,200 in concessions, and this buyer paid cash. The other thing that everybody always wants to know is how much money did they actually lose? So Open Door actually paid $518,800 for this property back in May of 2022, and they sold it for $437,100. So you can see how much of a loss they took, and that does not include commissions. That does not include their service fee. It does not include some of those other fees that they've got to pay. So they took a hit on this house. Okay, here's another one. It sold for $447,500. It was on the market for 67 days. It was originally listed for $511 and it sold for $477,500. But again, here's a seller concession. Set almost $18,000 the seller paid to help get this home sold. So how much did Open Door actually pay for this house? They paid $465,300. So they didn't really lose that much until you start taking into account the commission, the closing costs, all the other things. And don't forget about that seller concession that they paid, which we just talked about. They paid almost $18,000 in seller concessions. So take that off of the sales price and they actually did lose money. Okay, so here's another one. This was sold for $510,000. It was on the market for 143 days, originally listed for $667,000, sold for $510,000. Again, seller concessions, $12,000. And what did Open Door pay for this house? $640,000. Almost $641,000, and they sold it for $510,000. So this one was a big hit. Okay, so here's the last one that I want to show you. Again, just trying to give you a broad range of prices just to show you what is actually going on out there. This home sold for $700,000. It was originally listed for $842,000. It was on the market for 111 days, and it sold, like I said, for $700,000. Seller concession to the buyer was $22,225. It's a big number. And what did Open Door pay for this house? They paid $832,600. So again, this one, they took a big hit on. So how many homes did the iBuyers actually purchase? So of the homes purchased in 2021, they bought 1.3% of all of those homes, which was an all-time high for them. But some regions are more popular than others. The professor of finance at Stanford Graduate School of Business and a member of the National Bureau of Economic Research said this: their model is such that they can really be successful only in some parts of the market. iBuyers operate in areas where the housing stock is relatively new and uniform. So they're overrepresented in cities like Phoenix and Las Vegas, but ignore states such as Missouri and parts of Texas where older homes dominate. iBuyers have seen some big profits when our market was hot. But as our market is turning and homes are taking longer to sell, it is really eating into their bottom line, which is making iBuyers the first to drop out of the business. See, homes are not meant to be short-term investments. They are meant to be long-term holds. And this uncertainty in the market makes this model even more fragile. This in turn hurts the regular homeowner because these businesses have to make decisions to get these homes sold. And the best way to do that is to lower their prices so they can sell these assets. So for those buyers out there in specific price points looking for a deal, the iBuyers are the first place that I would start. And if you like this video, make sure you take a look at this one. If I can answer any questions for you, please feel free to reach out. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.